Hi and welcome back to the channel, and in today's episode let's do a colour reveal. In the last episode we were quickly getting a coat of paint on the inside of the car, and that same afternoon it was on the trailer and off to M&M to get a coat of colour on the outside. And the big reveal, yes, it's orange. Surprise, surprise, it's not blue. We had a lengthy discussion about what colour we'd paint the car, and it was decided orange would be a very contrasting colour out there on the stages and very eye-catching. And yes, we know it's not the first orange rally car, and certainly not the first orange GC8, particularly in Western Australia. However, we'll go with this colour and we'll see how we go. Why do we kick off this episode working on an Impreza and then all of a sudden we're now working on a Forester? Well, it's quite simple actually, because basically the Forester and the Impreza are the same car, at least underneath the skin and the floor pan, or what they call the platform. It means then that a lot of parts out of a Forester can be swapped over to an Impreza and vice versa. In this particular case, we've got hold of a Forester XT, which is a turbocharged Forester, and it harbours some of the bits that we need, things like front and rear cross members, some of the suspension, gearbox, and a great deal of the other bits and pieces that we need to complete this forest weapon build. So over the space of a couple of hours, we basically gutted all of the running gear, the fuel tank and other bits and pieces out of the car, and then separated it all and inspected it. With a quick check of the rules, we found the 2.5 litre turbo out of the XT couldn't be used, so instead we'll use a version 6 STI engine out of a GC8. Amongst all this mess on the floor here, which is all the wiring loom for the car, we have got a bit of a conundrum we've got to sort out here. So effectively, this wiring loom here is out of a 98 car that's been out in the weather, or just a wreck, and so that's not really suitable to use. All the plugs are all a bit corroded. And then over here we have a 99 wiring loom that's been in a car which is actually in reasonably good shape, that we went and robbed the wiring loom out of. However, unfortunately with this wiring loom, some bits and pieces have been chopped, like here and here and here and a couple of other places. And we've gone through and had a good look at that loom because we're a bit concerned about that. However, the bulk of the problems with that are around electric doors, power windows, etc., which are not a major drama for us because we are going to do away with those. We've got wind-up windows in this car, so we don't need to worry about power windows. There's just a little bit to sort out with a few bits and pieces like fuel pump, relays to make sure that works. And there is a little bit of tinkering around in the loom in this position here, which is going to be a little bit of a drama because that one has things like the indicators, so hazard lights, and also the demister in it. So we've got to sort that out as well. So there's going to be a little bit of mucking around to get all that sorted out. However, it looks like for the most part we've got a workable wiring loom. Now, something I was explaining earlier to Damien, and I'll explain to our viewers, is the plugs. This is for the ECU. Now this is the difference. It's a trap that catches a lot of people out with these. Over the years, from say the version 1s, which were the 93 WRXs, through to the version 6, which is the 2000, a lot changed in the wiring looms, particularly around ECU and engine wiring. And so this is a version 567, so basically the last of the GCs and the first of the GD, or the bug eyes, had similar plugs, and the ECUs are pretty much the same. However, this loom here is a 98, and as you can see, different coloured plugs. Now it's got 3 plugs on it, however the plugs are slightly different shapes and the wiring pinouts are slightly different. When you go to a earlier version 3s or version 2s and earlier, they have a 4-plug ECU in them, and different again. So you can make different ECUs or wiring looms work with different engines. Effectively, you can sort of get them to work. However, you need to try and keep the engine, loom, ECU and body looms the same for them to work. So hopefully that didn't sound too confusing there with what I just explained. And there are some other nuances as well in fuse boxes and things like that, and other wiring in the cars that just changed over time. That's just what happens with this stuff. So we've got to work out this mess first, and then we can put it all in the car. Out with the pressure washer to get everything nice and clean, and it all looks good underneath. And we had to escort out this little visitor that found somewhere comfortable to lay down for a while. We didn't want to leave him trapped in the workshop overnight. Right, back to the car. First thing we did was pull the steering column out and checked it against the one we pulled out of the 99 Rex to see if they were the same. They're different, so we had to sort that out. We're using a 97 steering column and have to swap some of the wiring and ignition barrels over, and then fitted up a WRX pedal box because the Impreza two-wheel drive pedal box has a different clutch pedal. Right, getting towards the end of this video, we will finish up, I think, with an unboxing. This has been a bit of a mission, I must admit. I tell you what, some freight people are morons, and this is one of those occasions where we ordered something and there was 2 packages, and the first one came within the time frame, and we paid for express freight, very expensive freight I might add, with current prices, to get this on time. And then it took 6 days for the second package to arrive, which had also been here, and they delivered one of them to us and not the other one, and we've been chasing around ever since. So thank you, freight company, for your incompetence, or at least the driver. Anyway, as some of you may be aware, we are the Australian distributor for STD, or standard gravel rally suspension. We have used quite a few of these sets over the years, and this is the set that will be going into our forest weapon. So we started putting this into rally cars back in about 2013, I think, was our first set. We trialled these. We found them to be very good, especially for the money. They work out considerably cheaper than anything that we can buy locally, and they are very reliable. Are they as good as Ryger suspension? No. However, they don't come with the price tag of Rygers either. Rygers are very good. And there's locally made stuff here which is excellent as well. MCA, which we have used in several cars, which is also excellent suspension that Murray makes in Queensland. However, it is expensive in comparison. Nothing is cheap these days. So we have opted to go with this STD gravel suspension. So what do you get in the boxes? Now there's 2 cartons for these. These are specifically for a GC8. We ordered these. They're available for most of the cars. What do you get in the box? So you get, wow, some stickers, and adjuster tool, and also the caps, the end caps for, that is for the bump settings that goes underneath them. Then bracket. Have a look what's inside this. What bracket is this, I wonder? They've certainly made it difficult to get into. So this is a new addition. These are the remote canister brackets. So I like that. That's great, STD, because in the past we used to have to make our own brackets for these up, or work out another way of securing them, wrapping the remote canisters in foam, etc., etc. So that is great, good. That they are now including those in there, and these are the actual strut assemblies, the actual rally suspension. Now I have no idea how they pack this. It's got lots of tape in it. we'll just cut it. They're going to go on a rally car anyway. They're designed to handle a bit of rough roads and whatnot. So let's have a look what these look like inside. Finally, got that one out of the packet. So that is the remote 50mm remote canister gravel suspension. Remote canister that holds more gas and oil. You see the springs, adjustable platforms. The heights on these are probably likely to be set. We'll fiddle around with these. On top, so you can see there, pillow ball, strut tops, camber adjustable as well. These only use 4 bolts, however we'll probably put an extra M6 bolt in there just to hold them into position when the cambers are set, when we wheel align it. Has adjustable bump and rebound. The bump is done by there's a small adjuster on the canister here, and the rebound is done by the adjuster underneath that the little caps go on that we've got in the packet there. So all anodized and plated, full seals, very good inverted damper setup. So they are a very good looking piece of kit, and like I said, we have used these in a few cars now, and we find them pretty easy to service and rebuild when we need to, but they are a good looking piece of kit. So very shortly in the build, when we get to that point, these will be going into our GC8. These are available for the GCs, GDs, and seeing things like Nissan Silvias. We put these into S13s and quite a few of the popular cars. They're all custom made by special order, so they do take a bit of time to be produced. We don't stock these and have them sitting on the shelf. So when a customer places an order or we place an order, they're then manufactured, and the time frames on these can vary. Something I am a little bit excited about while we're at it is this unboxing. Now, it's not a pair of skates. This is a roller skate box. So inside is what we have had made up. This is our own design, and these are it probably doesn't look like much rather than a plate. These are our own design. This is actually a mounting plate for a hydraulic handbrake, and we've had these CAD drawn and then laser cut to our exact design. And basically it's designed to mount up a vertical hydraulic handbrake near the gear shifter. So this plate goes around the gear shift on the transmission tunnel, and the GC8s and a lot of the Subarus have a factory metal plate there already. This will replace that plate, and then a vertical hydraulic handbrake will go there. So it's probably hard to visualize, but the hydraulic handbrake will be here somewhere and the gear shift will be here, and it's designed for right-hand drive cars. So this solves a problem we have with being able to reach and to mount a vertical hydraulic handbrake in the correct position in the Subaru, because there isn't a lot of room at the front there between, say, the gear shift and the center console. So we've got a bit of a way to go with this car yet. However, all the parts are pretty much all arrived now. We've got most of it to put it together. So things should start happening in a hurry. I know this one's taken a while. We've just been waiting in the background. We've had other things going on. So hope you've enjoyed building our forest weapon. Please give us a thumbs up. It does make a difference to the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe, and we'll catch you again soon. Cheers.